high performance. So as drummers, it would be good for us to have high performance work ethics. So I'm just gonna go down, a small list of high performance and what that means, right? So I'm gonna use certain words that maybe people aren't familiar with, or certain approaches that people aren't familiar with. So high performance, well, you could think as a drummer that means that you can outplay everybody else, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about in chops. I'm definitely not talking about being better than the next guy. Like let's say you replaced a drummer in a band or a gig. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is being able to outwork the next guy, okay? In other words, you could put in more hours than the next guy. You could, in other words, instead of working on something for 8 hours, you work on it for 12 to 15 hours. So usually, high performance people, right? High performance individuals are focused, all right? And I'm not just talking about being, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm not talking about being focused on your iPhone, okay? I'm talking about the ability to focus on one thing for a long ass time. And that means, sometimes 8 to 10 to 12 hours, okay? Can you practice, for a gig for 12 hours? The same thing. And yeah, you could say, oh, I'd be overprepared. So, is that such a bad thing? Is that such a bad thing to be overprepared? I think it's great, because that means you're not practicing it to get it right. You're practicing it so that you can't get it wrong. And that's the thing. Practice. A lot of people think practicing is, oh, I put in my half hour to an hour a day of practice. Well, that's not practice. Practice is doing something really hard, and that's all you are attempting to practice, and you're like, wow, I really can't do this. That's practicing. So it could be something like The Black Page by Frank Zappa. You're constantly shedding for hours on end, right? So, I'm talking about in the professional world, right? In the professional drumming field. And that means, high performance gigs, all that stuff, all right? So the ability to outwork, right? You can put in more hours than the usual average guy. Laser beam focus. You know what? Right here, I'm going to put laser beam. But you know what? The majority of you ain't going to do that. You know why? Because you're always on your phone, right? You're addicted to this little piece of shit device that basically wastes a lot of minutes or hours during the day. So, not laser, where put that R in there somewhere. This is what happens when I'm making videos. I forget letters. Laser beam focus. If you are addicted to your phone, laser beam focus is not for you. Okay? In order to practice effectively, you need to have laser beam focus, or else you're going to fail. You're just not going to succeed. And that's the whole thing to the drummer's success is, well, that's part of it, is high performance. And you know what? A lot of the high performance individuals that I know, they put their phone on airplane mode until they are done with the workday. So, and I'm talking about drummers or musicians. So don't be like most people and just, oh, okay, I got it down, I can walk away now. No, you practice, you don't practice things to get it right. You practice things so that you can't get it wrong. In other words, it's not available to get it wrong. So there it is, right? You can work more, right there. Outwork, right? That means working more, right? Nothing wrong with that, okay? Focus, laser beam focus. All right, whatever it is. If you're looking to get more wedding gigs or just gigs in general, you know, tour gigs, laser beam focus. It doesn't even have to be for practice. It could, or for preparing for a gig. It could be getting the gig, right? So let's say if you really want to, let's say you really want to tour with Bon Jovi. Okay, I know he has a drummer, but who knows? You might replace his drummer, you know, just because his drummer has been with him for, you know, 30, 40 years don't mean a thing. Because Liberty DeVito was with Billy Joel and he's not playing for him anymore. So, who knows? You could be the guy who replaces someone else. But that means you got to be prepared. So, if you're looking for, let's say, a touring act, right? It doesn't have to be Bon Jovi, a touring act in general. You want to play with this person. Well, write it down and figure out what you have to do to get there. That's how you do it, okay? So, there it is, high performance. But that's an everyday thing, you know, like the Army says, you know, be all you can be. Well, that's a good idea for everyday life. You know, that's high performance. You know, the military is a great example of high performance. It's really hot in here. So, high performance, there it is. That's the way to get things done. So, you can outwork everybody else. You can be laser beam focused, okay? More than most people. You can practice and get better at what you're trying to get better at, whether it's, you know, preparing for wedding gigs and stuff, you know, stuff like that. So figure that out. Figure what you need to do in order to become a high performance individual, okay? So that's all I got for the high performance video for the drummer's success. And wait for the next video. Talk to you soon.